This series was funded by great viewers just like you over on Patreon. Check out the description or end of the video to hear how you can take part in making the show even more amazing. Hey everyone, Gaijin Goomba here, and welcome to another episode of Witch Ninja, a series that looks at media's most popular shinobi to see which are good and which are bad.
And today, thanks to the wonderful patrons who have given us their input, we're looking into one of the most well-known ninja in mainstream culture, the Dark Knight himself, Batman. With the announcement of the Batman Ninja movie coming out of Japan with an exceptional pedigree of people working on it, we felt now would be a great time to bring up the Caped Crusader and just how much of an utter ninja boy he really is.
Well, hang on a second there, little G, I wouldn't be so sure. There's actually been a lot of debating online and has been for some time about whether or not Batman is a true ninja. And when it comes to the Ninja Batman movie, people are wondering if he's more samurai than ninja. I mean, look at how Bats is armored. You'd never see a ninja with that much weight on them. Not to mention, Batman is a pure combatant. I mean, yeah, the dude completely capitalizes on stealth tactics, but you will never find a more punch-happy superhero than Batman. On the flip side, historically speaking, ninjas rarely would endanger themselves in combat with an individual, let alone a whole band of thugs. That isn't to say they never did or were incapable of it. Based on texts and information I found, shinobi were extensively trained in various Budo practices, but a ninja's job was primarily information gathering undetected, while assassination and theft fell into a less more performed duty. However, Batman? Yeah, I could understand people's doubts.
I guess I can see that point of view, but it doesn't mean warriors never utilize ninjutsu practice during wartime. Heck, one of the most publicly well-known ninja, Hattori Hanzo Misanari, wasn't historically a ninja at all, but rather a samurai who led and utilized the Iga Ninja. But make no mistake, only no Hanzo knew exactly how to utilize ninja and ninja tactics for war. So, do you mean to say that Batman of all characters isn't a ninja?
Why, you kidding? This boy's got more shinobi in him than the entirety of Konohagakure no Sato. I'm just addressing the other side of the argument. But no, don't kid yourself, guys. Batman is 100% ninja. No matter what iteration, time period, or comic series, The Dark Knight has always had some of the greatest connections to traditional ninja history and culture than nearly any other comic book character.
I mean, you can't beat Batman's stealth. From movies like Batman Year One, where he disguised himself as a commoner in a surveillance mission on the east end of Gotham, to JLA number 45, where Batman was able to hide himself as one of Ra's al Ghul's assassins to spy on Ra's. Batman has always had a masterful affinity of hiding in or out of plain sight. Similar to ninja of old dress in more than just their blue, brown, and gray spy clothes. Predominantly, ninja would dress in all manner of disguises, ranging from Komuso monks with their basket masks, to shonin merchants, to Sarugakushi street performers, to Tsune no Nari, or common folk.
And speaking of Batman's appearance, there's been a bit of a debate in our fan base of whether or not Batman's colors make sense. On one hand, if there's anything we've ever driven home time and time again on this show, it's that real ninja wear blue. And in Batman's case back in the day, such was the case. But modern day Batman predominantly dons a black cowl with dark gray accents, seemingly going against the historic norm. While this seems like it puts Batman into the more romanticized versions of ninja rather than historic, remember, in the modern day we have so much light pollution from modern illumination that the dark blue starry sky is now replaced by orange blobs of light that cast a lot of black shadows. So as far as a modern take on ninja go, in this case a black disguise would probably be more helpful.
And then we come to what really makes Batman a true ninja, the gadgets. One of those being his smoke pellets, which he never seems to be without. From video games to movies, Batman's been using smoke bombs seemingly forever now, which very obviously mirror the ninja's use of similar tools called Torinoko, which were understandably more primitive in their design but no less helpful in Noroshi no Jutsu, or the technique of smoke concealment. Finally, you have the biggest stereotype for all ninja and Batman alike, the Batarang, aka the overly detailed, probably overpriced shuriken. Since Detective Comics 31, Batman's been utilizing this aerodynamic piece of metal in the same way that any true ninja would, to incapacitate their enemy rather than to kill.
But you only speak of the simple connections. The roots that Batman has with traditional ninja go far and beyond those examples.
Such as?
Batman's mind games for one. A lot of people assume that ninja were predominantly fighters, but the truth is, shinobis were masters of genjutsu, techniques of messing with your head. Disguises, smoke, explosions, quick throw projectiles, all of these were used to confuse or panic your enemy, not kill them. Even in combat, weapons like the Kusarigama were weapons of trickery rather than straightforward fighting. But a ninja's use of genjutsu could extend even further than that with just something simple like a terrifying mask to briefly overwhelm their enemies. Traditionally speaking, we oftentimes see ninjas associated with specifically Hanya masks, but any sort of terrifying mask could be utilized, whether they be demons, monsters, or even animals. How true too does Batman utilize the same fear with his disguise? On his own, Batman's outfit might only seem slightly intimidating at best. But to an already jumpy criminal, Batman's own visual genjutsu could look like a fate worse than death.
Well, don't take those obvious tool connections between Batman and Ninja too lightly. There's a good reason why they're so memorable. The one tool I didn't yet mention that seems so interchangeable with Batman are his grappling hooks. Batman loves grappling hooks.
Let's make a deal.
You think the Batarang got a lot of heavy use? Try naming one Batman series where he didn't use one of these things. And sure enough, Ninja also placed a very high priority on grappling hooks, more so than shuriken and swords. The traditional ninja grappling hook, or Kaginawa, is one of the Shinobi Rokugu, 6 items that were utter staples for a ninja. The other 5 being an Amigasa hat, an Indo medicine box, a Sekihitsu pen made of charcoal or clay, a Hinade flint box for starting fires, and, I kid you not, a towel known as a Sanjaku Tenugi.
You've really got to know where your towel is.
But not only was the Kaginawa helpful for climbing trees, steep hills, and walls, it had a great number of other utilities. It could be used to tie someone up, it could be used as a tripwire, or it could even be used as a weapon. Not so unlike the wide variety of uses the Cape Crusader has for his grappling hooks. Then there's another traditional piece of simple equipment Batman uses that connects him to Ninja, his spiked gauntlets that he's been using since Detective Comics number 36. Though seen as more of a visual aesthetic, movies like Batman Begins show off the practical uses of such armor. Likewise, it was not so out of the ordinary for a ninja to potentially use similar gear. After all, even the humble Tekko arm bracer was imperative for the ninja when undertaking missions. It not only provided extra protection from the elements, but also helped to cover light-colored skin from the eyes of their enemies while they hid.
Alright, I'll give you that one, but there's one tool in Batman's arsenal I bet you didn't know was used by Ninja: the Bat Sonar Beacon.
Are you serious? The sonic emitter Batman has in his boot is a true-to-life ninja technique?
You better believe it, my dude. It's actually one of the few Chronicle techniques Ninja have actually used in the past.
But bats?
Well, yes and no. It's more broad than that. The technique that Batman uses is a form of Jinton Jippo, the art of using animals or people as escape methods. But more specifically, a weird combination of Juton and Chuton, where the ninja would utilize animals as a distraction, such as freeing a beast of burden into the main courtyard, or literally throwing bugs and reptiles at their enemies. When people say ninja use anything at their disposal to get the job done, they're not kidding.
And this was actually chronicled in history.
Absolutely. It comes from the tale of Hino Kumawaka, aka the Teenage Ninja. Originating in the 14th century historical epic Taiheki, the tale of Hino Kumawaka begins with his father, Tsuketomo Dai Nagon, being exiled to the island of Sado as punishment for conspiracy against the imperial court. Upon hearing of his father's incarceration, Hino traveled to Sado to see his father one last time. He gained an audience with his father's captor, a monk named Honma Saburo, but was denied by Saburo to see his father. Hearing that his father was unjustifiably beheaded by Saburo, Hino decided it was time to settle the score. Man, young orphans looking for revenge, there's another thing these two have in common. Setting out at night to find Saburo's room, Hino eventually found the sleeping monk, but he was scared that his movement would shift the room's lighting and awaken Saburo. To combat this, Hino cracked the door, allowing a large swarm of moths to enter the room, which eventually extinguished the light. Acting quickly, Hino grabbed the monk's sword, slew him in bed, and quickly escaped by pole vaulting away using nearby bamboo. So yeah, using a swarm of critters to veil their movements. Sound familiar? It might seem like a strange connection between Batman and Ninja of history, but from what I could research based on taught techniques and the recounting of ancient epics, Batman's strategic use of animal swarms isn't so unlike his ninja counterparts.
Hey, you wanna get ridiculous? Let's talk about Batman's glide cape, cause even that is steeped hard in ninja culture. Scientifically speaking, Batman's cape is made from a very special kind of memory cloth that forms into an aerodynamic glider when an electrical current runs through it. But no matter how you want to explain it, generation after generation of Batman has given him the ability to utilize his cape for easy gliding across the skies. And while this might seem like modern technology, here's the crazy thing, guys. According to legend, ninja have been able to do this for generations. Taken from the Koga Ninjutsu Gokuhi, or Secret Arts of the Koga, the text claims that there was a particular school of ninjutsu called the Akutagawa that had the capacity to utilize massive kites to lift Koga ninja off the ground and drop fire and bombs onto their enemies. Whether or not such a feat is possible is still up for discussion. In fact, Professor Yamada Yuji at Mie University stated last year that he was attempting to academically put the theory to bed. But to the credit of this technique, the town of Yokkaichi, which is very close to Old Koga territories, holds the Yokkaichi Odako Matsuri, which celebrates kites big and small, but there's a pretty hefty emphasis on the big. Some of these kites are so massive they seem like they'd have no problem lifting an adult human off the ground. So, if centuries-old ninja could do it with limited resources and kites, it would be easy enough for billionaire Bruce Wayne to perfect that technology.
On the surface, Batman might seem like too confrontational and too combat intense to be considered a real ninja, especially when he rolls into the scene with a massive suit of armor on. But when you get into the nitty-gritty of what makes Batman Batman, his gadgets, his techniques, and his utilization of fear and human psyche, there's no contest, guys. Batman is a good ninja. Heck, he's a great ninja. In fact, I'm pretty upset at myself for not putting him in the intro. But speaking of the intro, next time we're going to be looking into another ninja of gaming to discover just how in love shinobi were with guns, and how one lone ninja almost changed the history of Japan forever. A lot of you guys have been asking for it, so keep an eye out for the next episode of Witch Ninja. But if you're new to the series and want to learn more about ninja culture and how popular media has either eloquently captured its history or just took a big old poo-poo on it, then be sure to check out the annotations on screen and links in the description to learn which are good and which are bad. And until next time, everyone, this is Gaijin Goomba, signing out.